Among Us. This game is so amazing, and I'm working on a bot to make this a bot able to play this game by itself without any kind of human help, and this is be a lot of interesting. Well, first things first. Just because I cannot run the simulation at the same time I cannot run my bot at the same time I am running the streaming. I just make a small video showing what I am doing right now, and as you can see in this screen at the left side we have my own player. Here is me while I am playing the game itself, and at the right side we have oh, I believe I have another more recent video. Okay, let me stop this. I have a more recent. This guy one here. It's more recent. Yes, this guy is much better. Well, as I'm telling you guys, at the right side we have me being detected by a neural network. I am using YOLOV5, using deep learning, and I teach it to this environment some objects we found in the game itself. For example, this emergency button and this computer, and there is lots of other objects we can find at this game. And for example, the entryway here, when we are getting inside this halls, we have some gates, and I use it to because this gate is not an object itself but is an entryway. It's a specific point where we can use as reference to do some kinds of actions and some kind of movements. So I've make some detections about not on the players, not on the objects, but some places, some parts of the places where I can use to locate myself, to distinguish where I am. Okay, what's going on in this specific task that I am doing right now? My player can detect some objects over the map, and as you can see here, we have my first task is on the electrical fixing wiring, and the idea here is my player will walk through this map just by itself without have any help, goes to the electrical and find the fixed wiring tasks, enter in the fixed wiring task and fix the wires. That's the goal. That's I am expecting to happen right now. And for that task I made a video and I will show you guys what's going on. So in the second step I will be pausing each step just to explain what's going on. I am Brazilian, so every kind of text I wrote here may be in Portuguese. For example, mesa central is central table, but this kind of details will not impact in the whole picture, and you sure will understand what's going on here. I will play, and that's the idea. Here we are trying to do the electrical fixed wiring tasks, and we are going to electrical and do the tasks. That's it. Let's see what's going on. I will play run and let's go. My player starts going, and there is a lot of destinies. This guy Destino here, it means destiny, and destiny gate 3, gate 4, gate 5, gate 5, gate 4, and here is some coordinates. This coordinates is relative to the destiny itself. For example, gate 900 is to just go. Wow, the task is going on. I don't believe this guy. No, let's take. I was explaining, but we need to let's see it all again. Let's see if my player. Let's take a look here. We have a play button, the play button was pressed, and my player starts going on. Okay, the player gives us a small break and starts again, and they are going down and going down left. Here maybe he appears to get stuck a little bit, goes to the gate 9, goes to the panel, entry and the tasks, and wire by wire they do the tasks. And here we found encerrou, that means done, finished. Yes, that's it. I don't believe when I started doing this game in the very early 2020. I was starting this game, and so I made the very first detections at the time, and I am trying to detect some texts at that time, and for some reason I stopped this development, and I'm returning almost 2 years ago, after, in a brand new comprehension about AI, a brand new comprehension about how to detect, and this kind of understanding. And I was thinking, well, maybe someday my bot can do some tasks can do a task, maybe a simple task like download, press the button download, and that's it. But for sure my artificial intelligence will not do a fully completed tasks. And here we are, and in front of my eyes I am seeing right now this guy doing the whole task. Let's try to, well, as you can see here, there is a play button here, and I will press the play button to run this program. Yes, the program is running. I am using Pygame here. I don't remember why I am using Pygame here, because I will take a second look about this, because maybe I am not using this guy anymore, or maybe I am using this guy to grab some keyboard keys waiting to be pressed, but I am not sure if this is necessary anymore, just because the Pygame is using so much space on my memory, and I don't need this anymore. Well, as you can see, I am using MQTT. My architecture is the main idea of my architecture is I have an MQTT server dealing with messages, and I have the game itself running, a detection program running, and this detection program is sending through the MQTT messages, telling to a listener, telling to a subscriber what my neural network is detecting at this time, at this precise time, and based on. And so my among intelligence is receiving these messages and processing and trying to find distances, trying to find objectives, trying to find doing lots of processing based on these detections. Why I am doing this? Because when I put the MQTT server in the middle of this program, I lost a lot of performance, just because dealing with messages is so slow than just grabbing the images and making the processing at real time, and it can turn this program so slow. But the very first reason I am doing this, well, to make some detections, my neural network spends at least 15 milliseconds to do this processing. So this is a lot of delay when we are talking about dealing with messages. And for that reason, my grab screen is already have a high delay spend time. So even if I am not using MQTT server, my messages will not be more than a message through 15 milliseconds because this is the time to make some detections. Okay, this is the first reason. The second reason is because I need a separate what's going on if I what will happen if I turn everything in a single one program. Well, every time I need to start the detections, I need to goes up this program, the detect among, and the detect among takes some time to goes up and start detecting. But my intelligence itself is so light. There is not so much processing running in this program. So for that reason, I can stand the detections being made, and at the same time I can start and stop my intelligence doing this and doing that and trying this and trying that, and this makes me so, and this is so interesting because I can program my intelligence just separated from detection, and this I consider this two different kinds of layer, and we start entering in the third idea I have is the separation. The is a way to separate layers, separate our intelligence in layers. First layers is the detection. Second layer is the first processing we do over the layers of the sensors. Well, the first layers of sensors, we can understand the pixels of this image is the first layer. The second layers is the detection of the computer, the detection of the player, the detection of the central table. Okay, the emergency button is the second layer because we are extracting some information, processing information from how sensors. But there is a third layer that I consider. For example, the computer is up the table, the emergency button. The computer is on the left on the emergency button, and this third layer of information, we are considering the detections itself and making some asserts about them, doing some kind, making some affirmative. Let's try to go to the translator. Making some statements. We are making some statements about the relation between computer and the player, between computer and the board. Is this kind of processing? It's a processing based on the first processing. It's a secondary processing, and as we can continue going up in this processing. Let's suppose I grab an image, I made the processing, extract the computer and the player box, and so I made a second statement about this relation, and the second relation is the distance between them. So I up a new level. So I can make a new statement about that, telling this measurement is it's lower, is greater or less than something, and I will go on the complexity what I am doing. I am growing the degree of, I am increasing the degree of complexity of my very first information was for a very start level of information. Wait a minute. And for me as a psychologist, this is important because I want to understand how far the affirmatives are from the reality, because at some point of this affirmative we are just dealing with information is not part of the reality, and we have to come back here to understand where are this all statements are coming from, and that's the main idea. Okay, let's continue here. So I connected to MQTT. We have this lots of layers. The MQTT passes to my agent the second layer. The first layer is the sensors, and my MQTT pass to my agent the second layer. And based on this second layer, my agent will make. I don't print the mission here. It's important to print the mission. Let me see here. I am printing the steps of the whole mission, but not the mission start, mission end. I didn't program the in that way. But now is the time to fix this kind of problem. Okay. Print mission. Okay, I will not print anymore these small steps here, because these small steps will appear when we are starting doing this whole path. Okay, what is going on? My mission, I will print. Yes, I will not remove this. I will put here steps instead of mission. Steps. Here we find the steps of this whole mission. And what is going on here? As you can see here, we have the Mesa Central is the emergency button, and read here mission, read emergency button, and we have some coordinates here, and these coordinates are not 0, it's minus 300 and 0. The emergency button 00 means in the middle of this button, but my player cannot go there. There is no way to go up in this button. So I tell my player that when they want to go to the Mesa Central, they need to go to the minus 300. It means here you can think about the X and Y coordinates here, and this guy, instead of going just up of this button, goes at the side of this button, the left side. And every other steps here are the same. There are coordinates based. I don't need to explain it. It's so confusing to explain it. What we just know is there is a lot of objects in this room, and I am basing my movements depending where these objects are. I can go closer to the computer, I can go closer to this table, I can go to some position related to this table. But there is something important here, is that I just can go somewhere related to this table once this table is being detected. I just can I just can go somewhere based on this computer when this computer is being detected. Let's suppose this computer start blinking, this detection start blinking. Every time this detection goes off, I cannot move anymore based on this computer. This is a problem because sometimes my player stop on the screen, just get stopped, and the image is so stable, and for example, let's suppose this detection is going off and my player is fully stopped and they are not detecting. So if I not change a little bit, just tiny steps that my player do can bring the detection again. And at this time I am not doing that, and as soon my players fully stop, we cannot, nothing will happen, and if this detection is not occurring, will not occur anymore. And I will fix this in the future, just adding a neutral statement when there's nothing happening. My player don't stop at full, don't do a full stop. They are just doing something, going a little bit up, a little bit down, just to make sure that if there is a problem of detection, this will not compromise the whole program. Okay. Here we have, so we started the program, connected the MQTT, started the mission. We have lots of steps to do right now, and we are starting from the Mesa Central. This means the central table, and I will play, and this guy will go here at the left, and we'll start a new step. Let's see this happening. Yes. As you can see, when this guy came here at some point here, they and it's supposed to be minus 30 and 0. I am not passing the exactly position. I have some offset of error I can accept. In this case, it's 50 pixels. This measurement is based on pixels. 50 pixels of imprecision, just because if I am so highly precise on these movements, my player maybe can be dancing on the screen trying to find the exactly position where they meant to be, and for that reason we don't pass the exactly I don't expect this guy going to the exactly position. So as you can see, the 0y here must be closer to my mouse, and my player is lower than that, just because this guy passed the set point, because I am giving the player the opportunity to not be so precise. Well, so first this Destiny central table, find it central table. So next step, Destiny central table, but in that case the coordinate is different. Here we have minus 300, here we have minus 500, and the y coordinate is still the same. And let's go, let's play this. Yes, great. And as you can see, as soon they find this coordinate, they pass to another step and another step, another step, another step, until they finally find the electrical wiring, the electrical fixed wiring, when they will press the action button. In this case is the button A. My player is going. Let's see, this guy is going going up, going. As you can see here, they stop it in the middle of the gate 9 and go to the electrical panel large. I don't know the name of this guy. I call this electrical panel large, and this guy continues doing that. They are almost in the electric. Yes, now they are going to the electrical fixed wiring. As soon this guy came here, they will press the E button and will start doing the task. Yes, I understand. This guy is so fast. I understand. Mission is finished. They find the electrical wire and they start pushing the red wire. Fio vermelho means red wire, and this red wire is this. Okay. What is going on here? I detect this ESQ for means left, and DER means right. Okay, we have the red wire on the right, the blue wire on the right, the yellow wire on the right, and the purple wire on the right, and the same for the left. So what my player is trying to do right now is to click on the color on the wire, the wired color on the left, and moving the mouse to the wired color the colored wire on the right, and just release the button and do this for the 4 colors. The sequence this guy is using here, red and then blue and then the yellow and then the purple. I define hard coded. They are not deciding where to start, but this is not a an important decision to make. It is an ordinary decision. Okay, and here what's going on. The mouse itself is being controlled by Python. Python is doing all this. Python is there is a command. Just click, move the mouse to this position, and I can even turn this I can move this mouse a little bit slower. I can there is some parameters that I can pass to this program to decrease this speed, to make this kind of movements a little bit slower. But it can be another thing. Just click here and appear there. I can pass this kind of movement to the program, but I decided to make this kind of programming a little bit just like a human will do, with some intermediary, with some internal steps, just emulating a person moving the mouse. I believe that this movement is so fast, but a human can do at that amount of speed. Yes, as all the wires was completed, all the stage one is click, stage 2 is drag, stage 1 is go to the first position and click, stage 2 is drag to the second position, stage 4 it's let's look at the program here right now. Forgot the steps. Step 1 is move let's take I need to read the code again. Okay, stage 1, mouse down, move the object. Stage 1 is move to the object and press the mouse down. Oh no, yes, first step is move to the object. Okay, it's important. These stages are important. Stage 1, move to the object here, but don't press anything at all. Stage 2, press mouse down, just that. Stage 2, press mouse down. Stage 3, move to the second object. In other hand, move here, press mouse down, move to the third stage, move to the object, and as you can imagine, stage 4 is really smooth. That is this all four steps I mentioned here. Stage 1 completed, stage 2 completed, stage 3 completed, stage 4 completed for the red wire, and the same for the blue wire, and the same for the yellow wire, and the same for the purple wire. So as this guy finished these tasks, the program itself stops. So at the end of the all stages from all wires, the game itself closes the window, the task window, and my player just do this very first tasks, and for that reason I am not doing anything different than that. I just finished this yesterday, and I was so happy because I was not expecting this will work. At 1 year, at most 2 years ago, when I started doing this very first tries for this project, I was not expecting to came here where I am right now. The reason why I stopped it for so long period of time without doing any kind of implementation here was because I have some great personal problems in my personal life, and I have problems with noise because all this kind of stuff I was making videos, saving what's going on, saving my progress, and at some point this kind of progress was not being able to be saved because I have some neighbors so annoying, full of sound and noises, and I cannot save for that, and I move it from my old house, and I moved it at least 3 times in this period of time, just because the very first place I moved it is still making noise. The second place I moved it, the guy sell the apartment I was renting, and at this time I was in a place where I can record the videos with much more peace, without having noise. At this time I am here at my house and there is no music, there is nothing, no neighbor, and nothing at all, and I can talk slowly, and I can talk lower. I don't need to express myself, trying to overcome the noise coming from outside. And that's it. That's the reason this project takes so long time to happen, and I am pretty glad. You cannot imagine how happy I am doing that. And there is something much more important right now. Well, the next steps I am seeing, which I can do right now, is complete the map. I am not fully this map is not fully navigate. I cannot fully navigate through this map right now because I was made. My navigation system is based on a graph, and this graph contains the places where I can visit and do the calculations where each time I want to go from one place to another place. Well, this graph is not fully made. I just made this this first route right now, where I came from the central table here to this place here to do this task. This is the first experiment I have made using this technique, and I need to finish the whole tasks because at this time the only task I know how to do is this electrical fixed wiring, where I the fixed wiring itself, no matter where, but the other places where there are another fixed wiring tasks I didn't finish it yet. The graph to go to this another places, and for example to fulfill this here we have three wired tasks to do. I just made the first one because I didn't make the another steps to do this whole steps, and my agent itself at this point is able to navigate, but the map is not full, and is able to do some tasks, but the amount of tasks is not finished yet. And so I need to finish the mapping navigation, and I have to finish the tasks realizing. And there is some tasks that are so much difficult to realize than that one. There are some tasks that are much easier. For example, the download and upload task. And clear asteroids, for example, is a funny one, which we have to shoot against the meteors, the asteroids. And this is interesting. It's a funny task. It's a game inside another game. Unlock manifolds is so easy. Unlock manifolds. And calibrate distributor. I didn't remember exactly what it is. Well, but as you can see, there is a lot of things to do. But the most important step I have done right now is just be able to play the game, to play the simplest part of the game. But this game is based on human interaction. This is not a game interested on doing tasks. Doing tasks is part of something major, which is detect the imposter when you are crewmate, or as an imposter try to kill everybody to win the game. So for that major tasks, it's a huge, much more difficult task, because one, we need to understand human behavior, because when we are crewmate, we are trying to find who is the imposter. And for example, the player's behaviors is the information we have. For example, we can't see the imposter killing someone. Okay, for that reason we can detect the killing itself, and we can go to the chat and tell, I saw this player colored something killing people at some places. Okay, we can do it over the chat. Okay, this is the easiest scenario when we are telling a truth. But there is another scenario. For example, you are playing the game and someone keeps following you. Okay, this is a behavior decision you have to make. This guy is following me because they are looking for protection, because they are another crewmate, or this guy is the imposter and trying to kill me. This decision is not made yet, and for example, sometimes you will goes to the meeting room and you are not killed, but someone is following you, and you have to decide over this, at least these two possibilities. This guy is following me because they are trying to kill me, or this guy is following me because they are trying to stay with me to be protected against being killed alone. And because of that kind of behavior inference, we have to do some we have to do some kind of, we have to do some, I am not confident about the word. We have to do with this kind of statement when we are thinking something based on behavior. And there is another difficult goal, is that we have to do the same thing when we are dealing with language. When people are writing text trying to tell he is the imposter, he is not the imposter, we need to understand what this people is telling, and we have to pass to a filter, a behavior filter. Well, this guy is telling the truth, or this guy is not telling the truth. Let's suppose this guy, the yellow guy is telling, well, the imposter is the blue one. Well, first of all, we need to understand if this guy is trustable or not. If this guy is trustable, this is true. This is not trustable, this is not true. And the second thing, if this guy is trustable, this guy is right, or they are or is just a mistake this guy is making. There is a lot of layers of information, language information we have to deal with, and this is much more difficult than playing the game. Playing the game at some point of the development, it will be fine. I was expecting this. I was not expecting to play this game. I was thinking this is impossible, but now I have done this. Now I have made my first task. I understand this is completely possible, and I am going up a step, finishing the very first stage, giving a new a brand new. I need to make some changes in the architecture of my programming, and I need to start thinking about language right now. This is a much more interested tasks, and for that second stage and the first one, I will ask for some help, people's help, to do that with me. I will be so glad if people will work with me in this project, because this project is so the best project I will have already made it myself. And maybe we can start another kind of project, but this one is so interesting. Well, I am talking about almost an hour at this Tuesday at 5 p.m. I really don't know exactly. It's 5 p.m. 4 p.m. here in Brazil, but I didn't know it's 4 p.m. in the GMT. But the Brazilian GMT is -3, so 4 p.m. here means, I don't know, it's 7 or it's 19 or 13 o'clock. Well, Brazilian GMT is -3, and the presentation will be at 4 here. Do the calculations and trust in your followings. Just find for the artificial intelligence at Meetup. Let's go there and saw what I am talking about. I'm so full of tasks to do, and at some time I didn't have enough time to dedicate Artificial Intelligence for Robotics and Games, hosted by Evo. And here's me. Here's I am the guest speaker here, Robert Evergreen, COI. Yes, that's me. As you can see, there is 7 people attended. Most of them are organizers. Evo organizer. Manny is organizer. David, I know. Yes, co-organizer, organizer, and we have 3 members, 3 real members at this time because I am a member, but I am the guest. What I will talk about in this presentation is the idea of how I use games for doing robotics, because the very first time I started dealing with robots, we use a lot of simulation, lots of simulations, lots of simulations, and we are giving to the robots intelligence, we must do this intelligence based on something, and we need to learn about intelligence and somewhere. And when we are dealing with games, this is the best opportunity to understand how intelligence works, how we solve some tasks, how we humans think about some tasks. For example, in that game, what I am doing right now, why I am playing this game, I am trying, yes, to beat the game, to understand, to do a great bot able to play this game. Yes, this is something implicit. When we are trying to do some bots, this kind of tasks are implicit. We are always understanding that the bot itself is a great achievement, but at the same time, I am looking at me. I am observing myself solving this problem, and it's so interesting to see how we change ideas, how we create ideas, how we develop. For example, when we are talking about reinforcement learning, we have environment and we have actions which we can use. We can select. For example, if we are playing an Atari game, we just have move up, move down, left and right, and jump. That's it. There's 5 actions we can do. And the environment itself is the screen of the game. But when we are here, in other hands, in this case of Among Us, is not so few actions. The computer itself have the whole keyboard to use and the mouse itself with lots of coordinates, and so the amount of actions we can do, it's so huge. Well, for this game we restrict the amount of movements, of the amount of actions, just for the ones who interested me. For example, press the E button and press the arrow keys to control the player, and E button to execute the action. I am restricting the keyboard itself. But when we humans are playing this game, we are not being restricted by some law. We are restricting ourselves to not press keys that will not do anything at all. For example, in that game, if I press V, don't do anything at all. Maybe V may do something, but for sure there is some key who don't do anything at all, and I will not press this key because I know that this key is not doing anything at all. But this game here, we tell to the intelligence what buttons they can use, and this is something interesting to think about, our way to solve problems. And what's the problem if I pass the whole keyboard to the artificial intelligence to use the whole keyboard and learn to play this game? Well, the artificial intelligence will start pressing every button to see what happens, to see if there is something happening or to see if there is something possible to do with lots of buttons we don't do anything at all. And for, and till the artificial intelligence understand that this large amount of buttons will do nothing, we will spend so much time exploring this huge space of possibilities. And for sure, this guy will never learn how to play this game do with this kind of strategy. So we have to decrease the amount of actions this guy can do. This is the first interesting thing to consider. But even when we restrict the amount of actions this guy can do, we still have the problem of the large amount. This guy cannot learn doing randomly actions in this game, and because we will go into the same problem doing something even when we can just press up, down, left, right and execute. Even when we are just doing this kind of actions, there is a lot of things, and until this guy came here to the electrical fixed wiring, understand the storage fixed wiring is a task they are able to do, and lots of, and all this information, this could be so difficult to understand. For example, here I didn't train it my neural network to recognize this yellow circle surrounding the electrical calibrate here. This is something I am considering to the next version, because it's important to know where, when there is some, and I'm not detecting this arrow here explaining me where I need to go. I didn't explore this approach, and I didn't explore this approach. And as you can see, we as human, we consider lots of probabilities, and we can evaluate with which these different approaches can be better or worse from one. For example, if I try to follow this arrow here right now, I will be stuck in the wall, against the wall. This will not solve. Following this arrow will not solve the problem. I need to understand that to follow this arrow, I want to go down and do this turn, and because I understand the map will not allow me to pass through this wall. But at this time I am not detecting the wall itself. So for the player there is no wall, so I cannot use this kind of approach. For us it's so easy to understand that there is a wall there, but there isn't. And for that reason I am observing myself solving this kind of problem, and then observing myself where I can go, where I cannot go, what I can do, what I cannot do. And for me, I am other observant, and for based on what I am programming in, and this is important, because I am not just thinking about how to solve a problem. I am writing a solution, and I can look what I am doing. I can look what I've done, and this is interesting because it's not something hidden inside my head. It's something I put it out my brain, and I wrote it in a code way, so we can evaluate and analyze my own solution. Wow, you think it in a graph looking for places. Why you don't think like that? Why you don't do that like that? Why you don't use a map? There is a lot of things we can think about, and this increases my intelligence, increases the power we have to against this game. Well, I am thinking about make this game an open project, and I want to share this project with lots of other people. And ask him for help and to create um, a community able to deal with lots of players. Thank you so much for watching. I was expecting someone here to talk, even a question, but because the subject is so interesting for me, but as I was understanding, there is not so much interest. There is not so much people interested on this subject, and for that reason, I just do this for my personal gain, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your time, and we see next time. I will make this video right now for my channel. Thank you.